Good evening, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. I want to discuss the appalling state of the UK, Britain specifically, and what hope I can give you. The state of the UK is bad. There's no way around that. The reason why it's so bad is because currently we are led by weak men, weak leaders. Weak leaders create bad times. Bad times create strong men. Strong men create good times, which in turn creates weak men. That is why we are in decline. We are run by weak leaders. If you look at Keir Starmer, if you look on the continent at Macron and other leaders, maybe the King, they're all weak. Does that necessarily make them evil? You could argue that either way. You could argue that weakness is evil, especially if you're just going with the flow and you know what you're doing is wrong or what you're not doing is wrong. Take this for example. An asylum seeker began smuggling migrants days after arriving in the UK. Anyone who looks at this would think, clearly this is wrong. Anyone with a brain in government would look at this and say, well, this is wrong, this needs to end. Why did they not stop it? Because it would mean they'd have to acknowledge and admit that their way of doing things is not correct, that the rules-based system that they've created is incorrect and it's not fit for purpose in the 21st century. Back in the 1970s, we had about 1,000 refugees applying for asylum in the UK per year. Okay, about 1,000. It's now over 70,000. Do we really think that the world is that much more dangerous than it was in the 1970s? Or is it more likely that the people that are exploiting the system are gaming the system because we are allowing them to do so? I think it's the latter. It's not that the world is more dangerous, it's the fact that we allow people to get away with it. If you have ever had children in your care, you have to set boundaries and you have to set limits to what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. Because if you don't do that, they take the piss and they ride rough shots. Discipline is needed in the household, discipline is needed in the school, discipline is needed for a country. There are a lot of strong men currently in the political discourse all around. Not just talking about the few exceptional MPs that we've got. There's a lot of online commentators that are calling a spade and know exactly what the problems are with the country. This is the positive effect that the online discourse and the online communities can have. You can call out exactly what's wrong and you can offer solutions to the people that are willing to act. This is all reversible. Anything and everything that is wrong with the country is reversible with the political will. Okay? If you look at this second story I'm going to bring up now. An Iranian man who done you know what to their lodger can't be deported in case they're persecuted in the homeland for doing what they did. Who thinks that this criminal should be in the United Kingdom? I don't. I certainly don't. Why am I paying for this? Why are we paying for this? Because we are led by weak leaders. They don't want to act even though they know it's wrong. That's why they will label the strong man toxic. That's why it's toxic masculinity. It's not necessarily that they are toxic. It lays bare their inadequacies. That's why they label them toxic. That's why you'll get idiot dramas like the Netflix fiction that say that the white man, the white child, is responsible for the stabbings in the UK. Proportionately speaking, that's not true, and it is a work of fiction. But then you get our Prime Minister standing up in Parliament and for some stupid reason calling it a documentary. The Liberals, the weak men that have run the Western civilization into the ground, know their time is coming to an end. That is why they are trying to tighten the noose They're trying to exert more control and dominance because they know that their time is coming to an end. Now, if you like this video and you think I'm right, let me know. If you think that we are really down in the doldrums currently, but the only way is up, let me know. If you think I'm onto something, comment, like and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. You have a good afternoon and thank you for your time.